All right. Get this ball going, whatever. Oh, this is gonna be private. Let's make it public. Now we're good. All right. Okay. I'm just gonna keep on working on this guy. So I wanna figure out a few things regarding background. Yeah, let's not do that yet. Let's erase this or not. Maybe just kind of just. Hey there, how's it going? It's good to have one viewer. Yeah, just let me know if audio seems fine. It's my first time doing a live stream on YouTube, so I haven't done one in a very, very long time. So greatly appreciate if there's anything to correct, if there's anything that's off to you, anything that looks wonky. Sure, no problem. Yeah, I mean, as time goes, I'm gonna be getting better at this thing. So right now, I'm kind of like a noob. So that's fine. Yeah, Instagram is way more user friendly, I think. The only problem is that people watching it through, you know, the phone are not necessarily like staying on the phone the entire time. So, well, I mean, YouTube is pretty much the same thing. So, but yeah, glad to have people here. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna work a little bit more on this sketch and just figure out the background, figure out a few things regarding the elements of the dude, like the head that is he's on top of. I want to like really figure that out. Maybe the shadow over here, but in general, just nailing this thing. Hey, welcome to the Wolfpack. No, I'm kidding. We're not gonna be stealing anybody's tagline here. I've been watching a whole lot of Elden Ring live from Logos Jr. And that guy can play. Should get this thing off. It's making a whole lot of noise. So, what else do we got? Yeah, the brow is around here. This is the top of the head. This is the top of the skull. I think that's a good size. Kind of like around here. Nose, eye, brow. The eyes kind of looking up. Kind of creepy. Imagine that there's a horn here. I'm gonna try to figure out how to put it. If there's a horn. And the reason why I want to put a horn really is because I find it to be fun. I find it to make sense. Oh, oh, weird. Oh, it's good that you solved it though. Yeah, it would have been kind of like I'm trying to check constantly what YouTube is doing. There's kind of like a little bit of a delay, but you know, kind of like normal regarding live streams. Not that I know much about it, but I imagine there's going to be some delay, and that's it. Hmm. So I wonder if I could mess with this guy here. Because I was talking before that the axe is a little too close for comfort to the edge, in my opinion. So it could be like that, just a little bit smaller. Hey, I saw on Instagram you're making comics. Are those in the market? Can I get those somehow? Or you're just an artist for someone else's comic and you're not writing it yourself? No, I'm doing it. I'm currently in the third chapter. I'm still not um I still haven't completed the third chapter, and the reason for that is because I'm a bum and I'm trying to um sometimes I really get inspiration. It's kind of like my extra thing that I do. It keeps me on my toes, but I'm starting to take it really seriously, and I'm gonna upload it soon enough to Webtoon. I think that's called the web page, and hopefully I can get a Patreon going about it because it's a comic that I've had since I've been 12, or no, not 12, but since I've been 15, kind of, and it's a whole convoluted story. As years gone by, you can call it like it's very Game of Thronesy. It's very, this, very that. You can just see recalls everywhere, and but it's kind of like fantasy based. And I'm trying to just like do something special with the characters, do something special with the lore. I don't want it to be like just fantasy. I think like that is a little too exhausted right now, and I'm really trying to create something special, but most likely I'll finish it soon enough. I don't know when the third chapter, and that's going to go live in Webtoon. And hopefully, if everything goes well, and if I take it seriously enough, and if people respond very well, I can make it something like a habit and just like do it every week. Or, hey, thanks. Absolutely. And people can subscribe to it or something like that, and something that it's not really wasting my energy because I want to do a bunch of things. Um, but mostly what I want to do is to put product out, like something that I create, because I do think like freelancing right now, it's a little bit tough, and I need to start creating my own stuff, man. But also, I want to create my own stuff. I want to do comics. I want to do stories. I got a book waiting too that is, I had so many projects that are just like there, I mean, typical thing of the artist. It's just like we start one thing and then we move to the other, you know. So, but yeah, glad you liked it. Glad you liked the style. Um, I tried to create like a little bit of a mix between kind of more like an American style between more manga oriental style, kind of like a little bit of a mix, and not get too heavy on any of those. Because also I wanted to make it viable. I wanted to be able to just like do it very often and not, be like one page a month. How boring is that? That is awful for people, watching or just paying attention to comics, just waiting, when the next chapter and when the next page is going to come out. It's just like yawn. Like that's a no go for me. So I want to be able to just like get it out in bulks of chapters, as if it were books, and if not, to just like make it as fast as possible, which is gonna be uh, kind of difficult because it's a whole lot of work. I mean, it's not traditional. It's through Clip Studio Paint, but at the same time, it still involves so much work, man. It's just a whole lot of effort. So hopefully I'll get that out soon enough. I just need to finish because I do long pages. I don't do kind of like the traditional pages. Webtoon. Like the long pages, and it's just like those are so many panels, and a lot of people or a lot of artists they they do kind of like make it very economic for themselves to just like use a lot of blank space, and I feel like I'm filling it up with panels. I'm filling it up with drawings the traditional way, and it's a lot of work, man. And I don't think that I could keep like an industrial base. I feel like if it does very well, I will have to hire somebody almost to just like help me out with sketches and help me out with things and keeping out the project going. Otherwise, it would be just like I don't know. Every now and then, I would just like finish it like a couple pages and just like move on. But then by then, like not many people are going to be buying it. Not many people are going to be like subscribing to it. But it's a fun comic to do. I wanted to have like a lot of adult themes. I'm not into just doing kind of like erotic stuff, but just to have like adult themes, kind of like Game of Thrones, where it has like sex scenes, it has like, it's for adults, it's for people like us, you know. This is something that's just like represent a little bit more of normal interactions with people, normal struggles in a very um, extraordinary type of environment. I'll try to do the ear of this dude, and that should be out. I'm not gonna try to do a human ear, just something that's more deformed. Oh yeah, I was just so amazed by the style. I saw your Space Marines painting and just I love your art. I wish I will be good. I should try. I'm trying to be. Oh, thank you. No, 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 dude. Just I mean, honestly, just thank you so much. I appreciate it. Uh, yeah, and it's really necessary for me to know what people are excited about. I think that I can be excited about my own projects, and I can sustain myself that way. Uh, you know, emotionally wise, but it's also really good to know what other people find exciting about the things that I'm doing because it means that maybe I'm going the right way. Maybe I'm doing things right. So I want to be able to know what our people are excited about. So thank you. Hmm. I don't know much about that ear. It looks weird. Things calling too much the attention. No, it's just this guy. No, I should just do the hair. The guy just simply doesn't have an ear, which is not possible. Yeah, it's good that I'm doing this sketch right now because I'm really trying to figure out what to put there. Um, and whatever the place that I choose to do it, maybe this way. I'm gonna have to put something because maybe the guy's over here. Like I'm flipping this head all over just to figure it out where it's supposed to go. Maybe around there, I know. I'll put maybe some smaller eyes. There's a bigger nose, closer to the eyes. There's a lot of guns there. Teeth. I mean, up tusks, but I want to do a lot of guns and just gum disease. You know, those guys, gross. He has a horn in the middle of the forehead. I don't know. Mm. Maybe I shouldn't put a horn, just a guy. Mm. I'm not convinced yet. I'm trying to nail it down a little bit more. It's just amazing to me, like you just take something that blocks a lot of the criteria and use your own way to make. Yeah, I mean, thank you again. Honestly, it's just I think it's just practice. You know, you just keep going and you keep getting excited about the stuff that you're doing. It involves a little bit of like just you know, kind of not believing in yourself, but also just nerding out on the stuff you do. You know, like waking up excited in the morning, you're just going like, "Oh man, I have such an idea about like doing something," and you get excited, and that overrides your experience. It will be the thing that drives you forward to do whatever you want. Um, so yeah, uh, and yeah. Generally, I mean, I'm very sloppy. I don't really have much of a method most of the time. I just go with whatever I feel like going at the moment, and that is just freeing, in my opinion. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I erased everything already, and I did a redrawing. I'm just trying to nail down what's underneath him and on the background as well. And I think I think I got like an idea of what to do, but I think I'm getting too caught up with the idea of like having this to be a head instead of uh just a boulder maybe, or just a cool rock formation that can have some color or shape or interest. That could go well. But the same, I like the brutality of Warhammer, and it's just missing the chance of having this layered dwarf climb up onto a giant sever head. It's just it's too good to miss out, you know? I mean, I have to be able to nail it down. I've done more difficult things, and the fact that I can, or I'm kind of struggling a little too much to find the edge. I mean, I should do this in 3D, honestly. Doing this on 3D would be such a would be so easy. Um, I'm just not comfortable with the program right now, and I don't know. I just like drawing. But yeah. What do we have at the beginning? I think at the beginning we have this guy. Yeah, that was kind of enough. I like that too. I mean, in this case, this guy would need kind of like an ear there, maybe. Man, I just don't want to have to deal with an ear because I would have to put it right in between the legs. It's it's a little bit of a problem. Because the other choice is just to do the head bigger and just put hair around, which is kind of gross but works. And having to cover that ear and cover that leg. But I feel like I need at least this to just tell apart what is what. Yeah, thank you about the Mid Canyon fan art. Yeah, I've done a few pieces here and there, but it's not like my because at a certain point you kind of like choose what to spend your time on, and I mostly have other type of ideas that really call my attention. But yeah, thank you. I mean, that was fun. It's whenever I get the opportunity to do something like that, it's just always fun. It's always like really refreshing to just stop doing the ultra violence or the fantasy and just go back to just being a silly goose. It's really cool. I really appreciate it. And I love Meat Canyon stuff. It's just Hunter, he's just, really intense. So I love that. Yeah, I think that could do well. Maybe if I cover this a little bit more. That is creepy. But it doesn't give the look that it's a severed head. It just gives the look that it's just some guy laying there. I should do with another brush, the Adrian Smith brush that I designed to emulate a little bit what Adrian Smith does. Yeah, and the problem with this angle of the face is that uh, I'm gonna be putting a lot of detail on the corner, and I don't want that. Or maybe it just couldn't be that much. It's just to call the attention really a little bit. Yeah, it could be a cyclops too. It doesn't have to be. Yeah, I think we got something there. I think we got something cool. So I'm just duplicate this, and I'm gonna cut this, and maybe take it over here. And do a little bit of perspective, deform it, warp it. In order to get, you see, Photoshop is so much easier to just intervene things, create my own thing. If I'm doing something that I just don't feel like it, I just stop or cut and just keep going the way that I want. So we're going to clear this out here and make it into background. I'm really trying my hardest to forget that I have a full canvas of this same shit waiting for me, because otherwise I'm gonna get distracted. I need to fully concentrate on this, just as this. This is the only thing that I got going on. I like this train of hairs going through the face, but I think this is too much. Just a little bit would be alright. Hey, Christian, how's it going, man? Long time no banana. How you been, bro? Good to see Alex sweating. I know, dude. Access for life. Mm. Yeah, it kind of like gets all that detail over there. Yeah, I'm not convinced. What if, and I'm just saying, oh, that's cool. What if the face is pointing up? I'm gonna try to get that. Just what if the face is pointing up? Let's see what happens here. From here, there, no. here down. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think this is the cheekbone. And I don't, because my main thing is that I don't want to have to deal with the ear. I'm trying to rotate the face in different places where is also makes sense that he can step on it, stepping on the forehead. There's a lot of brow here. Oh shit. Um, there's a lot of brow here. Just tiny, beady little eyes. Evil, beady little eyes. And just protrusion of the mouth. There's some part of the nose. Maybe he doesn't have a nose. Let's make it without a nose. No, it's all boulder. It's all kind of like it's a mass, really. Until I start defining things, it's always going to be a mass. So that's all right. I do consider it to be a boulder initially. That's how I started, really. Yeah, it makes sense. And these, a lot of gums with teeth. Like a goddamn piranha. Maybe to this side. Mouth kinda agape. I should clean this a little bit more. Make this closer, perhaps. The eyes are over there and here. Uh-huh. So, like, live streaming is, I feel like it's an art by itself because I need to be able to paint as if I was painting by myself, but also I'm not. I feel like I need to forget the idea that I kind of like talking to yourself. It's odd. Almost never do it. I had to get used to this very fast. Times are changing. So, okay, let's do this again. What were we thinking? This was going to be the cheekbone. If that's the cheekbone, the eye socket isn't here. Hmm. That's the cheekbone, and the mouth protrusion is over there. Okay, this is starting to get some shape. Oh, this is going to be directly like that. Just like this. And almost you can see the eyes there, but they're too deep into the skull. Just creepy little buggers. And then my mouth protrusion here. Very protruding jaw. But also I wanted to have it a little bit open. Just either the tongue is out. It's kind of comical. I don't know if I want to get into that. Because tongue out on people that are dead is very, very terrifying thing. But if you do it a little bit imperfectly, it becomes really comical. Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I do not want to draw the ear, and it's not because I can't draw it. I can't draw it. It's just conceptually here, it would be so distracting because it's such a like intricate type of uh structure, and in this case, if the face is like tilted to the other side, the ear would be just in between his legs, and that looks so odd. So honestly, this Warhammer, um, I don't have to be very tight with Warhammer lore. Warhammer, one of the advantages that it has is that, yeah, is they're models and they're just like things that you need to get right, but also certain things are so disgusting that it just like gives you certain freedom. I mean, if you try to stay close to the models and to the actual figurines that they do, it's a bonus for the people that um, that are into Warhammer. It's a real kind of like a treat. It's like, oh, imagine if you have an army of like Plague Marines, and the model that I painted actually is one of them that you have in your rooster, which is, I don't know, it's kind of cool, I think, to see your stuff in it. But it could be anything. I mean, in this case, it's a guy that not necessarily needs an ear. It's a different type of giant, maybe. I'm gonna get this guy just to see a little bit. No, this one. This guy. Okay, so I can see that there's a lot of overlap with the nose cavity, as if like I don't have it in there, as if there's all this is like flat. But it would be really cool to put it in either way. I also experiment, like maybe it could be like this. You know, like not necessarily like that. Yeah, it could be like that. But then we'll miss out on the severed headness here. Okay, I think I know what to do. Okay. Yeah, I think like a little bit there. I like that the idea that he's standing, he's putting his foot right on top of his forehead. We can see the detail of the cavity here. You know, you know, this is hair, disgusting hair, strands of hair. It doesn't have to be something clean. Yeah, and this has to be a little bit more like this. The brow is protruding a little bit more. Let's go inside. Just kind of like the nose cavity, which is pretty gross. I'm gonna try a different brush. I'm gonna just go for round brush. This guy. Round brush is the best thing for doing sketches, honestly. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna. Yeah, yeah, that's nice. So the palette is kind of like deformed upwards. There's like spikes in the eyebrow. No, but the guy's foot is in there, so maybe it's in between. Doesn't matter. There's spikes in the skull too. Teeth are razor shape, like like little needles. Some of them are broken. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I can see now that this is starting to assemble into something better. Yeah, this is looking nice. It makes a lot of sense than just like a dude, like just laying there looking on the side. Now we got like a cool monster also that complements the design of the dude because you want to see showcase such brutality and such a horror that this guy, it just helps to sell the idea that these guys are badasses, that they just don't care, they just go for it. These teeth on the upper lip, they're little, they're just small little tiny little things that are almost like hiding in between the inflammation of the gums, you know. They're just incredibly deformed. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is it. That's a good idea. Yeah, I knew that I needed to keep on working on this. Like I wasn't really in love with it. I like the concept of the dwarf. I like the color study, but there was something in the foreground, something in the background that I needed to solve still. I don't know if I want to do like just some one of like this Chinese type of teeth, like type of monster or Japanese ogres. Maybe it's too much. But yeah, I knew that there was something that I could have improved. Let's just work on. No, I haven't. I haven't given up on the idea of the red eyes. I was just waiting for the canvases to dry, and I'm kind of dubious. I'm a little bit scared because it's a huge move. It's either you maintain the monochromatic aspect that they have, or you fuck it up with red eyes. And I think I color tested before, and I think that the paint is going to be dry on top. So if even in the worst case scenario, uh, I mean the painting is going to be dry underneath. Even in the worst case scenario, if I really fuck up and I really don't like the red eyes or the pink eyes, the green eyes, you know, depending on the Astartes, um, I'm gonna be able to just wipe it off and paint over again with blue or whatever the color it was without much of an issue. But yeah, that's going. I think I wanna go through that. Hmm, I don't know if I like it still. Just maybe if I can deform it a little bit more, right? This is a great thing about Photoshop, and you can do whatever the heck you want. Hmm. There's a lot of meandering. This is the cool thing about all this. It's just I'm trying to take this as a project. I'm trying to take this seriously as something that, I see myself putting in my portfolio. I take it as serious as I can. Kind of like a client, maybe, type of project. So if I need to take an extra week on doing this, I will do it. So I always have to know and tell myself that there is time. There is time to do things. There is time to correct. There is time to give yourself time and keep on doing stuff just calmly. I don't have to rush. I don't have to impress anybody. You know, just need to do my job. Started last year with digital art, and your work inspires me on this journey. Hey, no problem, man. I mean, yeah, dude, go get it. Thank you so much for the kind words. Everybody's been super kind to me. Uh, Social media out of late. I've never really liked social media, but people have been very, very kind. I can see why people get addicted to it. You get more validation in a single day than in a week. It can be dangerous, but still, what can you say other than thank you? Maybe this shouldn't be like such a protruded, like an agape open mouth. It could be like closed. Like I think I was doing fine. I let myself go a little bit. Maybe the guy's looking this way, actually. Possibly. I know this looks like a mess, but I'm trying to figure out some shapes. I'm trying to rotate the head a little bit more. Where's this side? As if the skull was looking at to him. That's more, maybe that's more symbolic of this huge monster that was vanquished. Maybe the last thing that his, severed head is looking at is the guy that cut it. This guy's pretty much teabagging this guy. I'm trying to take reference from the skull that I have here, so I just don't get too lost. Looks a little bit like a monkey. I'm gonna fix that over time. Yeah, I never been much of a friend of social media really. I think it's not. It can become a hijacking factor of your own motivation, and I don't want anything to do with that because it can feel like you're advancing and that you're moving on, but in reality you're not. You're just, getting followers, getting likes. That doesn't mean that you're finishing things. That doesn't mean that you're finishing projects or creating things or keeping yourself active, sort of say. There's a lot of people that are very famous and you know Instagram, and I mean not to judge, but they don't do much. And man, you do whatever you want. I want to always keep active. I want to always keep on doing stuff. I I want to always be creating product and creating stories and blowing myself away with my own imagination. I want to be excited about it. I want to do stuff for myself. The only problem is that does not give you much revenue if you're not putting it out there. So you have to go through the hurdles of having to be um, social media y, you know, which is fine. You know, I can get used to it. I think this is That's good. Maybe some tusks. I mean, I have my own opinion about things. I think it's one of my flaws and advantages at the same time. I'm a very opinionated type of person. So I know the things that I like, I know the things that I strive on, and the things that I want to try. I know myself quite a bit. But the only problem is that you become opinionated, you know. No, it's your way of doing things is not the same for another person, and that is something that you need to be constantly reminding yourself of in order not to become a bit of a jerk, so to say. And so easy, so easy to go walk down that path. I mean, the more I keep on painting this guy, the more it looks like a monkey, like King Kong. I should take some reference. I think I had like giants around here, and my browser. Hmm. Hmm. Search. Yeah, I have some stuff here. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these chaos giants. These chaos giants are good. This is the cool thing about chaos giants. I don't need to do the exact replica of a chaos giant because it's supposed to be chaotic. You know, horns, teeth deformed. You know, they don't make him in an industrial fashion. It's supposed to be like an aberration. So we got Total War, chaos giant. Where's the face? So we can see the face in a better. Resolution is so bad. I think this one's good. Doesn't matter if we blow it up. So yeah, this is the game that I worked on for a little bit, not for a very long while. I think less than a year, in my opinion. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I want to be. This is the guy that I want to be able to train right now. Not exactly, but I want to take some things related to the anatomy. You know, for example, that the big forehead, indentation of the nose, and long face. You know, there's a lot of space for this guy to put his foot on. So that is good. Oh, I'm doing the same layer. It's a big no-no. Maybe Creative Assembly is going to come and it's going to tell me that I'm violating copyright. But no. Yeah, this is the thing that I wanted to do. It's kind of like a mouth full of teeth. They're just coming in no order whatsoever. And just the lips and the skin just gripping around the mouth as it has like a I don't know, like something in between, like cutting. It's too much value, I think. It's fine if I leave it. Maybe some white of the eye. The guy's looking upwards. I could do this better. Come on. Yeah, possibly. Just tilting. Yeah, I used to play Total War, but I stopped playing video games now. Not as if it's a bad thing. I feel like it's starting to hijack my reward system a little bit. I need to concentrate, you know. I could go back to playing later on when I have time. Famous last words. Okay, I think I need to concentrate with this. Like, for example, I need to put, okay, all of this into one layer. And I'm gonna duplicate this. And I'm gonna put a background behind of just white. And I'm gonna try to create this more by itself. Thanks, by the way, for hanging out. That was very cool of you guys. Just go out of this way. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Just very simple. You got the nose. Right there. You got the forehead here. The brow that is super protruding. This guy's very browy. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more. Just a rotation. A little bit more rotation. You know? Keep drawing. Hey, no problem. That's awesome, man. I mean, glad to help us, you know, motivating and stuff like that. Very happy. That is really cool. Things here. It's not like I'm listening to anything. Maybe even more protrusion here. Just having the guy. Must be incredibly gross. You know, a lot of gum, less teeth. The guy definitely has problem chewing. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm from Chile. Yeah, originally Chilean. Yeah, there's a few artists coming from that country that are just like, they're good. Um, I remember Christopher Petters always. And there's quite other few that are just rising up. Nast too, Nestor Rosandon. In my opinion, one of the best illustrators out there. Also, Fernanda, I forgot her last name. There's a girl that's super famous. I'll listen to a little bit of music. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it because it's going to be like on my headphones, but let me know if you guys can hear that. Because if you guys can hear that, maybe I might get kicked out. Oh, yeah, there's kind of some delay. Yeah, we're gonna cut it. Oh, weird. Well, that's a good try. So I think I'm arriving to a point where this guy is on the right spot. I don't think I've rendered enough, or I'm not working him enough, but I think I'm starting to like the position of the head. I was struggling with it a lot. I'm starting to uh, just fill in and just really fall in love with this guy, the face, whatever he's about. Yeah, maybe it has like little tiny nose holes. There's so many things that I can go with. It's just at a certain point, you just have to make a choice regarding design. So I'm just gonna take that out. We'll see how it looks. Eh. Oh, I'm kind of happy, I guess. Happy pappy. Bring it down a little bit more. I'm gonna do a new layer though. Just recreate that layer and just mess around with it a little bit. Keep on transforming things. So I feel like we're arriving to the end of this face. It's kind of looking good enough, I think. Kind of. Yeah, no, definitely. It's absolutely disrespectful what he's doing. It's just much disrespect. I feel like the mouth is almost kind of like an entity of itself, in itself. So I'm just gonna warp it out separately, deform it, bring it here, bring it there. That's too much, dude. That's funny. I think I need to do it again. Let's try redoing the protrusion of the mouth a little bit. No, I think, yeah, and that's a good question because it's good that you notice that, whether this is a decapitated head or not, because that is a good telltale that I'm not selling this enough. This is supposed to be a decapitated head. The fact that you didn't recognize that, it's a huge, huge deal. And it's because the head is too big and it's too close to the ground. There is not much gore around that let us know that there's a cut, that there's kind of like separation from that this is just a lonely head. So that's huge. And I need to get on top of that. So that's good to it's good that you tell me that. So you see all those things that I'm always talking about that we need to be very precise and just efficient with brush making. I mean, brush placement. You know, what are we really portraying? It just can be anything. You know, it has to be something that sells the image in less than a second. You know, in less than a second, you have to know, oh, this is about that. This is about this. And people are gonna know. They're not gonna have a problem making questions. They're not gonna have a problem. It's gonna be just very readable, very recognizable. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm gonna start. I think committing to this. I'll keep this guy here, just for the sake of it. I'm gonna flip it around. We're gonna copy him a little bit. Some parts, some sections. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about the tongue sticking out a bit, but it's just I don't think this is the place to do it because it's just too comedic. Um, I would have done it in another situation, but right here it's just because of the angle you see, it's just not convincing enough. You're not going to be able to see it that well. It would have to be on this side, and it's not. If you do it here, it's just like a little bit too cartoony. So I thought about it as well because doing tongue sticking out of the head is like a classic. You just been beheaded. Yeah, there's a lot of science behind what happens to the body when it's under a lot of stress like that. Um, from bowel movements to facial expressions to bloatiness and just like, uh, you know, capillary just bursting out, and just it's a bunch of grossness that happens. But I don't think that this is a kind of like a situation where I want to portray that. I guess it doesn't help the picture mainly, not because I don't want to. I'm a lot for it. It's just I don't think that it's gonna become more of a hassle than an advantage to do it. You know, because the angle is too pronounced to do that. It's just gonna be confusing to the viewer. Like nobody's gonna be able to notice what the fuck is going on. I like the crustiness on the side of this dude. Sorry for the burping. I know that's really obnoxious. I shouldn't drink soda actually. It's really bad for you, even if it's zero. It's just fucking poison. Um, some spines in there. I see. It's a lot of. Yeah, I think that I can make this nostril a little bit wider. I could just go bananas with it a little bit. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. I like this in and out kind of folds coming in, and then you have the foot coming in, just stepping on it. I don't know if I want the eyeball to be protruding or to be showing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is a good sketch the for the painting. Yeah, over here, this is gonna let everybody know, like, oh, it's been chopped off, no longer attached to the body. And we're all gonna be like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's a lot of gore, some blood splatters, maybe. It really looks like his tongue is out for some reason. Somehow this painting wants me to do the tongue out, but I won't let it before I control the painting. It's mine. By the end of it, I ended up doing the ear, but it's on a different place, which is good. This is all what I wanted. I wanted to do the ear in a different place, not right there in the middle. It's just such a convoluted structure, and it just gets out of the canvas. Nobody cares about it, but we know it's there, that's enough, you know, no biggie. I should put a little bit more light into this, so I'm just gonna rapidly clean X for that much gore or not bloody yet. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna, no, of course I'm gonna be putting a lot of blood in that X. It's just, I want to do preliminary shapes. So I know what I'm doing. Like this right here is gonna be darkened, like the artist darkened. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, just showcasing every deformity this guy has. Yeah. With a little bit of effort, with a little bit of love, you can make anything happen. So, the head is pretty much sketched. Okay, we know the placement, we know the shape, we know the orientation, we know the elements that involve, we know the silhouette, we know what it involves. Maybe I could put a horn. Maybe it's not necessary because it's going to be like covering this. Could Go on the other side. It's gonna look like shit, here. So we're not gonna get into that. We're just not gonna do a horn. Maybe some tusks. I keep on going with the tusks. I just like a few spines protruding out. I like the idea of putting a few things. I was just calling the attention. It's just like, oh, that's nice. Time is it's 4. I'll keep doing this. I'll try to nail out the background now. And put in the horn. Yeah, that could be a good idea. I just think that that's, simple is better. Because the more elements you put, the more you have to complicate yourself with things, you know? And yeah, I don't think I'm already very complicated with all this. This is supposed to be a much simpler painting, and it ended up being like this huge mess. I mean, in good results. But yeah, now I'm gonna try to do the background. I'll create a copy. Nope, not you. There. And this guy can go away. And I'm gonna create a copy. And over here, what do we got? We got an army of slayers going jolly up the mountain to greet the other people. I'm like, hey, how's it going? And just set to come over and just say hi. Chop your heads in the meantime, the huge. There's a dude here that I want to portray. Yeah, man. Flying doors all day. I don't know if I'm convinced about the environment. think cutting it down a little bit will help. Hmm. And there is so much thinking being done in this piece. Not used to that activity. I like this guy in this position, but I don't know if it's gonna be too forced. I like that he's holding an axe in there. I wanted to do it as simple as I can. He's the only guy right there. That's why we can't get to see like kind of like a first. Yeah. Yeah, I like that he's there. It's kind of like a good transition. You understand that there's a lot of people behind just immediately. Maybe a couple axes like raced up. Just silhouetting, really. I mean, there shouldn't be much detail in there unless I require it. But just knowing that there's people going out, in and out, and just cutting in between the shapes. Understand that that's an army. Like, I don't need much detail in order to do this. This guy's gonna get a little bit more of a highlight, but at the same time, I doubt that it needs so much. Um, just flap traps. The guy's hanging, just carrying a great axe. Yeah, I think that is kind of it. There's some shade in the hand here. It should be cutting through. Yeah, that's way more like it. This is gonna help me so much to do the painting. It's gonna take it to the next step. It's gonna be so easy. I just need to get the drawing right. I'm gonna be on the outside. I think I'm gonna spend a little bit more on this, and then I'm just gonna translate it to a board. But yeah, being 4:30, I think we're good with that. So thank you for coming, the few of you. Thank you for hanging out.